Ayoola, Olugbemiga, Aina, Permanent Secretary, Parastatals Monitoring Office. So the Parastatal Monitoring Office is a newly re-energized office. It started with the responsibility of consolidating and monitoring the activities of all parastatals and agencies in Lagos State, which includes but not limited to revenue generation. It also means monitoring them for service efficiency, such that the dividends of democracy can be realized through the effective performance of the agency. But the office plays a very important role in governance by first of all coordinating the activities of government agencies to ensure that the funds needed for rendering services and giving these so-called services which the governor had promised during his re-election are realized. If these agencies perform well, definitely a lot of government programs will get to the citizenry, and that is the dividend of democracy. And one of the ministerial mandates of PMO is to make sure it monitors all government agencies so that we have value for the money from the economy. And taxpayers can say, look, Lagos State is doing well. And I'm also mentioned that gone are those days whereby public corporations are seen as a conduit pipe for waste of resources. There must be a paradigm shift. And then the governor, judging from his background, has actually appointed so many new directors, generals, general managers for this agency. A lot of them are coming from private sectors, bringing in their wealth of experience. And then when we couple that with the talents we have within civil service, there is synergy, and then we can now have this paradigm shift such that some of these corporations or public agencies will be so functional and you not be able to differentiate the difference between a private run organization and a public corporation. If anybody is going to do that, then Lagos State will be the first. Also, when you also think about digital transformation of Lagos State, we want to convert Lagos State into a smart city, a digital hub, and also where there is investment opportunities. People can come in and do their business, put in the much needed trust into us. And once we can do that, a lot of our parastatals will be available to render services and create value, because we must know that the way we are going nowadays, this digital transformation is not going to leave anybody untouched. There's going to be era of automation, artificial intelligence is coming, so we can no longer continue to do business the way it is being done. And also, ecosystems are likely to merge. Consumers are not interested in whether you are a government corporation or you are a private entity. They want value, and the customer is king. So the earlier the better. A lot of our government agencies wake up and do their business. The better for the citizens of Lagos State, the better for the economy, and also definitely resources that have been poured into this will yield a positive dividend. Well, all the agencies, we have about 102 agencies. Well, not all of them generate revenue, but they are all very, very important. There are some that they are basically rendering social services, and their inability to render their own services will also impact those that are revenue generating. For example, a lot of the parastatals or agencies under health and social care, they are rendering social services which sometimes we may not be able to put naira and kobo to. But the ability to satisfy their own clients and make them healthy, whereby they'll be able to pay their taxes. And at the end of the day, too, we'll be able to also patronize some of these agencies of government that generate funds. So all these agencies have been grouped according to the team's agenda, team's plus agenda. For example, under the transport system, we have Lamata, which is Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, and it's saddled with the responsibility of creating efficient transportation system within Lagos State. And this it has done very well since inception. One of those few things that they have done is number one, we've seen the creation of the bus rapid transport system, BRT system, which has brought succor to a lot of negotiants to commute. Also, we know we have a master plan for transportation. It's going to be intermodal, whereby there will be a link between water transportation, the rail system, and also the road system. And that is why it's very important. Lamata has been very, very crucial. If I may bring to you in the last few 1 month, Mr. Governor had commissioned three uh, overhead bridges, and these have been specially situated at areas that will make such intermodal transport system work efficiently. Look at your bypass. It's not very far from the rail system, which is not far from the lagoon. Same with Yaba, and we have just commissioned also Ikeja, and I'm sure there will still be many more. So these are areas of efficiency that Lamata has recorded. But we have Lagos ferry services, okay. We have Lagos inland waterways, okay. Of course, we know Lagos is an island surrounded by water, and we've not actually tapped into the full potential of being surrounded by water. It's still coming. But we know Mr. Governor, since in the past 4 years, has injected so much funds into that area. Many modern ferries, the modern, and then they delight to transport to go in. Not the old way, old ferry. They are standardized, they are world class, and a lot of Lagosians are what? They're patronizing them. Also, what is important is that there is synergy, because we may have a lot of agencies and they are working in parallel. We don't want that. They must synergize. For example, last one, which is Lagos State Waterways, which is in charge of actually conducting and monitoring the waterways and regulating it, not only for government agencies, but also for private operators, especially the inland waterways. So you may find under that it builds jetties, it regulates the way jetties are built, it licenses those that will use those jetties, including our own Lagos ferry services. Okay? And also, we are saying all these agencies within the transport system, there should be ease of doing business. Okay, there is a card, there's a card whereby you want to pay. Okay, card then you want to pay for transportation. What are those days whereby you have multiple payment systems? We can put all together using digital technology. Okay, automated system. And once you have your card and it's comparable like what you have in London City Oyster card, you can actually get on any mode of transportation. And that is innovation. And we want to see that in the next few years, our parastatals all have create a synergistic interaction to make governance and bring the positive aspect of democracy to the citizens. Because sometimes too, we are talking about a smart city should also provide an avenue for you to do business in an easy way. Okay, there's no point paying here, going to the next station paying. It causes confusion. Even if when it comes to taxation, we must be able to harmonize all these things. And that is why, apart from just monitoring them for revenue, we always interact and try and help a lot of the heads of these agencies solve their challenges. We want to help them to create a good governance system, a good and efficient business process for their customers. And also, the customer is king. We want such that by the time you get to the doorpost of any agency or parastatal, you are saying the kind of services you are receiving from them is comparable to any other one in the private sector or anywhere else in the whole world. We have the Lagos State Health Maintenance Agency, which is trying to bring in uh, insurance to Lagos citizenry. We've had to enact a lot of laws to make sure that the people of Lagos State, once you are there, you have access to governance, to good health. And you see, you cannot make health on a cash and carry basis. What is happening must have a payment system where we have pooled funds, and those pooled funds will be able to pay for the needy who don't have, and those who have also have also paid up, we also still be able to access. That is the only way, because the cost of providing healthcare is expensive anywhere in the world. But by the time you have a good insurance system, okay, and you get onto the Lagos State Health Insurance scheme, okay, for a family of four, and you pay a premium, which will be able to cover you for that year. Okay, and there's a basic level of services that you can choose from, and basic facilities that is closest to where you reside that you can choose from. We also have the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Agency. Blood transfusion is a major input in healthcare delivery, especially in obstetric care. You also know my background is medicine, and I know this agency has been able to regulate a lot of practices and making sure that safe blood products are available to Lagosians who are in need of it. And millions of lives have been saved by this initiative. Another agency under health is the EFAMA, Health Facility Monitoring and Accreditation Agency. We have to keep to the barest minimum the number of illicit or illegal health facilities that are not standard and are putting the lives of Lagosians in jeopardy. Whether you're a private or government facility, you must meet up to a particular standard. So there is no, it's a level playing field for everybody who wants to render services. General hospitals, private hospitals, everybody must measure to a minimum requirement, and you get a particular level of quality certification. And a farmer is always constantly monitoring, and those who are not keeping up, they are closed down, either in terms of not having the required personnel or being on their facility not measuring up to what it should be. And Lagos being a cosmopolitan mega city, you cannot but have a lot of sharp practices. People having one room and saying they are running a clinic and endangering innocent people who don't know what the dangers are. Those are the things FEMA is doing. Also, under education, of course, give it to Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He has transformed the three major health, higher education institutions in Lagos State. For example, we have LASU, Lagos State University, which keeps on winning laurels. We also have in Nigeria and Africa and even the whole world in terms of research. We also have LACUED, in the sense that the former College of Education has now been upgraded into a University of Education. Also, we have Lagos State Polytechnic before, which is now Lagos State University of LASUTECH, University of Technology. And all these agencies are being funded adequately such that the quality of education youthful population will receive will make them first class graduates anywhere in the world. And not only just to give the education, a lot of the personnel in terms of academic and non-academic staff, there's a lot of development training program for them to be keep abreast of what is required of them. And that is the only way you can improve the standard of education that is currently being given in Lagos and in Nigeria as a whole. So one of the few programs we have pioneered is to have the Lagos State and the Parastatals revenue generating meeting, whereby we pull together all the heads of these agencies once in a month, and we look at their revenue generation, we look at lapses, we look at their budget performance, their budget targets, and we have been able to see that a lot of them will be able to meet their budget targets if certain internal processes are strengthened. That is what we call having a standard business process in place, having a way of measuring performance, setting key performance indices for themselves, if they are going well or not. And if you are not on track, how can you quickly come back? And you'll be amazed that since we started this about a year and a half ago, the revenue performance of of agencies has gone up tremendously. We have 10 consistent performers that are always bringing in revenue to the state. And our aspiration this year is we want to enlarge that 10 to maybe about 20 and bring in more. There's hardly anybody that cannot, any agency that cannot generate funds. If you create service and you create value, people will pay for it. And that is why I would say there must be a paradigm shift. Don't say because we are in government. I know the civil service may be a little bit bureaucratic, and I cannot actually, you know, or change that. But what we are talking about, we want an efficient bureaucracy that makes sure that whatever is government is also run in a typical way a private setting setup will be run, and you maximize your resources and you give value for your taxpayers. And this is what we're trying to do 2024 and beyond. Also in the property sector, we have LSDPC, okay, that is actually developing a lot of estates for Nigerians. We have Lagos Homes that is trying to bring housing, affordable housing to the needs of the average Lagosian. We know housing is so expensive, but Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, through his housing program, okay, whereby people have been carefully selected, the people that actually need those houses, and it's not on cash and carry basis. You pay over years, okay? It's been spread out, and we've been able to deliver thousands of homes, and we are still continuing. We have the Shango Tedo scheme, we have the Igbobo scheme, the Kore scheme as well. And these houses, yeah, these houses are well built, well structured in an estate. And a lot of the residents of these estates too are active participants in the maintenance and also the general cleanliness of that particular housing estate once it has been delivered. So we can go on and on. You still have the opportunity to also be able to visit a lot of these agencies who are also now currently under new management and be able to see what and what they are doing to bring about the laudable program of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to fruition. And on a last note, I must say, even though the challenges are still many, but we must express our sincere appreciation to the governor of the state and his executive team, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for actually giving the office a new uh, lease of life in terms of funding and in terms of approval for a lot of our programs. We have a lot of things in place for the agencies. For example, he has just graciously approved a pally with a new all the heads of agencies, and that is quite significant. Number one, when you're coming in, it's like an onboarding session. And he's best positioned, judging from his own private background. And even before he became governor, you know, he had also headed a lot of agencies before, apart from being a commissioner. Be able to give them the kind of advice on how a lot of them will settle in, okay, and change the status quo in their new position. And starting with that, you'll be able to energize a lot of them who have found themselves in leadership position, both somebody coming from private and some of them that have been in the system before and maybe at directors level 16, 17, and having the opportunity to actually be this in a C-suite in their environment. Also, we are hoping that in not distant future there will be a full retreat for all these heads of agencies whereby they will be onboarded along with their management team to know how government works, to know the legislature, and how the executive arm works. And both of them must function synergistically for you to have good governance. On the last note, I think the horizon is positive, okay, for a lot of the agencies. And I want to assure you, if we continue along that trajectory, we achieve a lot of our set targets.